In the heart of wild Kenya's Masai Mara, one of the fiercest battles for survival is lions versus baboons. The lion, ruling through fang and muscle. The Anubis baboon, surviving through numbers and cunning. Each year, when the great wildebeest migration arrives, the Mara River becomes the line between life and death. When strength meets intelligence, who is left standing? Every kingdom has a king, and its fate is bound to him. On the lion side are three brothers just out of cubhood, without a single foot of land to their name. Sango, the strongest of the three, is the one who leads. But for a young lion coalition, winning territory is one thing. Holding it is another. Lasting a few seasons is what decides whether they live or die. Because males who lose their territory rarely last long. On the other side, in the cliffs of the Rift Valley, Taji, king of an Anubis baboon troop. The weapon of a baboon king. A social order tight enough that the young, the old, and even the rival for the throne each have a place. It is something stronger than any individual. Even a lion. One face-off, then a retreat. And one final time, the truce shatters. In a way no one sees coming. The two kingdoms collide over the same thing: water. The Mara is the only river that flows all year round. Lions come here to ambush because prey must come to drink. Baboons come because they too need water. The deeper into the dry season, the more the two territories overlap. And a collision becomes only a matter of time. The spark is already in place. A lioness with young is always tense and quicker to attack than usual. and her choice to den right at Taji's doorstep puts the two kingdoms on a collision course they cannot avoid. A baboon troop runs like a small state. That watch system lets a species with no long fangs or sharp claws survive among predators, many times its strength. Hierarchy, law, and a memory spanning generations are this kingdom's greatest assets. The young Prince Quito is learning that very order. Among baboons, knowing your rank in the troop matters no less than strength. Beside him, the old male Hakima holds a quiet power. In this species, age and social ties create influence, and a respected old male can diffuse a conflict by his presence alone. It is one of the savanna's most cunning alliances. Baboons sit high and have sharp eyes. Impala have the keenest sense of smell and hearing. Almost no predator can close in without one of the two species catching it. Impala even read the baboon's calls, telling a squabble apart from a true alarm, so they only waste energy fleeing when the danger is real. But that alliance hides a deadly truth. The Anubis baboon is no grazer. They are cunning, opportunistic hunters. The impala have no idea they are next to a hunter. In the breeding season, the alliance turns into a trap. A baboon can become a hunter, as cold as any leopard. Baboons pose no threat to adult impala, so the herd does not flee when the troop draws near. The same alliance, a shield to the grown, a death trap to the young. Taji's kingdom is truly to be feared. The intelligence that lets them drive off lions also makes them cold-blooded hunters. That is why every species around here stays alive by a trick of its own. The klipspringer is the only antelope that walks on the tips of its hooves, able to grip and spring off slick rock and vanish in an instant. One land, many ways to survive, each a different answer to the same threat. Even the gentlest-looking species has its weapon. The giraffe's long neck is not only for reaching high leaves, it is also a club. On this savanna, no species is ever truly safe. For Sango, Ledama, and Kuni, the dry season is a test of survival. Along the same river, a third power reigns, without ever needing to patrol. Cold-blooded, the crocodile must bask to store energy. But its strike is the most powerful bite ever measured on any living animal. Both lion and baboon know to stay away from the water's edge. Then one midday, the last distance between the two kingdoms disappears. To the baboons, a golden shadow moving into their territory has only one meaning. A male baboon's fangs run nearly 5 centimeters, a match for the lion's own. One infected wound from a baboon's fang can be a death sentence. This time, intelligence and numbers win. But this balance will not hold forever. Next time, the one who comes may not come alone. The rivalry is set. Now it only needs time to grow. The dry season is the cruelest enemy of a coalition with no territory. With prey scarce, every empty-handed day is a day they grow weaker. And a weak coalition is one about to be driven out. Time here sides with whoever already holds the land, shadowing a big predator to pick up scraps. Is a survival strategy, trading risk for a meal it did not have to catch. In the kingdom of the strong, even the weak have a place, as long as they are patient enough and bold enough. A buffalo herd is no loose crowd. When one calls for help, the whole herd turns back into a wall of horns. This is the lesson that binds the two kingdoms together. Before a community that stands as one, even the strongest must yield, whether it is one lion or a whole pride. A grown hippo is all but untouchable, as long as it keeps its feet, and wanderers are no match for it. But the three brothers took away something worth more than a meal, knowing when to let go. A future king must choose his battles instead of throwing himself at everything out of hunger. Meanwhile, Taji's greatest threat right now does not come from outside. Among baboons, kingship is never fixed. A male strong enough, ruthless enough, can topple the old king. In a baboon troop, power must be proven again and again. The way the males react to jury reveals the troop's inner politics. In a society under strain, even caring for the young becomes a tactic of survival. Taji knows he must settle with jury sooner or later. A king must guard not only the enemy beyond his borders, but the one who wants his place. When a herd of elephants passes through, Quito learns a lesson not from fear, but from his mother's calm. Amani does not react to the elephants because she knows they are no threat. A store of knowledge handed down the generations teaches each generation of baboons which species to fear and which to ignore, so they never waste their vigilance in the wrong place. Subira, a female leopard, has no troop and no coalition. Her weapons are solitude and surprise. For a lone hunter, keeping a meal is as hard as winning it. A cheetah can touch nearly 100 kilometers an hour in seconds. But the very body built for that speed is its Achilles heel. A small injury is enough to rob them of the one thing that keeps them alive. So cheetahs almost never risk a fight to hold a kill. At the soda lakes of the Rift Valley, a few baboon troops have developed a hunting technique, targeting the young and the weak at the edge of the flock. What matters is that this technique is learned and passed between individuals, not an inborn instinct. Each baboon troop holds something close to a culture of its own. And it is exactly that ability to learn, remember, then teach that places them among the most formidable species. Taji's kingdom does not only defend itself, it knows how to hunt on every kind of ground, and that is why it can survive right beside the lions. Two kings, each with his own test. Sango must be strong enough to win a kingdom. Taji must be clever enough to hold one and ruthless enough to feed it. But the greatest test for both will not come from their own kind, but from the darkness, falling over the Rift Valley. For baboons, night is the most dangerous part of the day, because the dark belongs to the night hunters. Their inborn climbing skill lets them use the sheer walls of a lava tube cave as a place to sleep, turning a disadvantage of the night world into an advantage. Waiting at the cave mouth is a clan of spotted hyenas. And this is no clumsy band of scavengers from the old myths. The night standoff lays bare the secret of Taji's survival. The hyenas can smell the prey but cannot climb, so the same cliff that was a doorway for the baboons becomes their fortress wall. The troop's strength lies not in beating its enemy, but in choosing a place to stand where the enemy cannot follow. This is the lesson that will return to decide the whole story. A night under siege still leaves its price. One male is wounded, but it is the troop's response that matters. Instead of abandoning the weak as many species do, the baboons gather around the wounded male. And under the shelter of the crowd, he will most likely live. This is Taji's true weapon, a community. High above, another network decides who eats. That network runs both ways. And most important of all, most of what vultures eat is animals that died of natural causes. Together with the marabou, they strip the dead clean and keep disease from sweeping across the savannah. Without them, the kingdom of predators would drown in the very death it creates. Not every death becomes a meal. When a lead buffalo cow dies, the herd loses more than an animal. A buffalo herd is built on the tight hierarchy of related females, and the lead cow holds the memory of the roots, the water, the dangerous places. Lose her, and the whole community must reorganize from scratch. An invisible cost no predator ever sees. Even among the giants, the principle of community still decides the outcome. When a black rhino, one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, draws too close to a herd of elephants with calves, the lead cow does not retreat but rears up to block the way. No one, however fierce, wants to charge a 3-ton wall guarding its young. Once again, what decides who walks away and who must yield is not individual strength, but the willingness to stand for the whole herd. Then the Great Migration arrives, and it shifts the balance of the entire region. 1.5 million wildebeest, along with hundreds of thousands of zebra, cross nearly 800 kilometers in search of fresh grass. And the greatest obstacle of the whole journey is the Mara River. This is the moment the river collects its price. The crocodiles wait exactly where the herds always cross. Because they remember it from migrations past. A single bite carries nearly 2,000 kilograms of force, and they work together to drag the prey under. For those who make it, the reward is green grass on the far side. For those who do not, this is the end of the journey to survive. The crossing is where the cost of migration is paid in the open in a matter of seconds. The death of the migrating herds is life for others. Sango and his brothers have claimed the far bank, where the wildebeest that survived the river collapse, exhausted, into the lion's jaws. Behind them, the jackal waits for scraps, and the vultures already circle above. A death on the Mara never feeds just one mouth. For the first time in weeks, the three brothers are full. And a well-fed lion coalition is a coalition that begins to grow dangerously bold. A hunger satisfied stirs something more dangerous than all the rest: arrogance. A band of young lions, still wanting more and full of bravado, turns toward Taji's kingdom. They have forgotten the lesson of the first encounter. Or worse, they think this time will be different. The truce has held this long. Tonight, it is about to break. The truce breaks with no one declaring war. A band of hungry young lions pushes straight into the baboons' territory, this time not to test them, but to hunt. And this is where the difference between the two kingdoms, hidden all through the dry season, finally shows. The lion's body is a hunting machine perfected for the ground. And that is exactly what betrays it in the trees. When the young lions chase the troop up into the branches in the heat of the moment, they deliver themselves into the very terrain where they are most useless. The baboon is the opposite. Built with a toolkit evolved for exactly this world in the trees. Gripping thumbs on both hands and feet give them a hold the lion can only dream of. And more important still, they know how to turn objects into weapons, hurling sticks down like spears. This is the core difference between the two kingdoms. The lion has strength. The baboon has strength, intelligence, and a pair of hands that can grip. The lesson the young lions carry away is a lesson for life. Do not be foolish enough to take on baboons on their home ground. But the Lion Kingdom is not finished. And this time, the one stepping forward is a seasoned hunter. Nuru does not make the young lion's mistake. Then the scales tip. For the first time, Taji's kingdom stands on the edge of falling, on its own ground. Taji returns to the unfinished fight for the throne. The showdown with Jury is not just a matter between two males, but the question of who this kingdom will belong to. And Taji wins not because he is the strongest male, but because the whole troop chooses to stand behind him. This is the one thing Jury, however fierce, could never have on his own. Among baboons, a king the troop turns its back on will lose the throne, no matter how long his fangs. For Quito, this season has been an entire schooling in power. Bigger and wiser than the days he clung to his mother's back one day, he will inherit this kingdom. And he has learned the most important lesson from his own father. A strong king is not the one who fights best, but the one the whole troop chooses to stand behind. On the other side, Sango has finally won what he chased all season. With the migration flooding back to feed a riverside territory, the three brothers, once drifters, become lords of the richest stretch of river in the region. But a lion's victory is never forever. A male coalition usually holds a territory only a few years before a stronger group drives it out. For a lion, winning the crown and keeping it are two different wars, and the second never ends. Even the alliances, that looks simplest here, have two faces. The oxpecker has long been seen as the buffalo's friend, eating ticks and sounding the alarm when a predator approaches. But recent studies show that the very same bird sometimes pecks at the host's open wounds to drink blood, keeping the wound from healing. The same bird is both a caretaker and a parasite, depending on the moment. In Kenya, even friendship is rarely pure, and every alliance carries a price. And while the two kingdoms fight over one stretch of land, Kenya runs on far beyond them, with countless other thrones. At Lake Nakuru, flamingos survive on a gift of their own, filtering algae from saltwater almost toxic to every other species, turning a dead environment into a banquet all their own. Beside them, the white rhino is proof that some thrones are held only by humans, a species once on the brink of extinction, now brought back through the work of protection. Each region of Kenya has a king of its own. King of the savannah is the lion. King of the cliffs is the baboon. King of the sky above the lakes is the eagle. All of it weaves into one larger kingdom where no throne stands apart, because death in one place feeds life in another, and the balance of the whole system rests on every link. At season's end, the land returns to what it always was: two kingdoms, a tense balance, a new truce, as fragile as the old. Neither side can wipe out the other, and that is not a defeat for either, but the very condition for both to exist. Each king keeps the crown. That is his own until next season, when everything is put to the test once more. The question of who wins in the kingdom of predators cannot be answered by longer fangs or a stronger pounce. The lion's strength is real, but the very muscle that makes that strength also chains it to the ground. The baboon's intelligence is real too, and it lets a physically weaker species choose the ground, choose the moment, and turn numbers into a weapon. Two opposite strategies coexist on one land, not out of peace, but because ecological balance forces it. If the lion grew strong enough to sweep everything away, it too would starve once the prey ran out. If the baboon were perfectly safe, its numbers would explode and drain the land dry. It is precisely the tension between the two kingdoms that keeps the whole system alive. So this land belongs not to the strongest, but to the one who holds its proper place in a network larger than itself. And that network outlasts any individual. Kings come and go. Sango will grow old, and a younger coalition will arrive. Taji will hand the throne to Quito. What remains is not an animal, but the way the whole kingdom works, passed down through every generation. Humans have long been part of this picture. It was the Masai living beside this land who named each animal after its character, long before there were cameras, because they understood what every lens still tries to capture. Here, each animal is not merely a creature, but a character in a story of survival, told and retold across thousands of years. Now it is your turn to judge. One side rules by fang and claw, the other endures through unity and cunning. Which kingdom do you think truly deserves to hold the crown in this predator kingdom? Leave your answer in the comments. By next season, the same balance is raised again, on the same land. Both crowns are still held, not because one side won, but because both achieved the hardest thing in nature. Living beside an enemy you cannot defeat and turning that standoff into the very thing that keeps both alive. 3 times over the past 60 minutes, the two kingdoms tested each other, and each time the same truth was confirmed. On its own ground, intelligence and unity can stand firm against even the purest strength. This is not a story of the weak beating the strong, but of two different ways to survive, coexisting, because the land needs both. But the very kingdoms you have just seen stand at a fragile moment. The African lion is now listed as vulnerable, with only about 23,000 left in the wild, and its range has shrunk to a small fraction of what it once was. Kenya banned lion hunting back in 1977, but the fate of this entire land lies in the hands of the one species that stands outside all its struggles for the throne: us. Each season, the crown is put to the test again, and the land asks the old question once more. When strength meets intelligence, who deserves to be left standing at the end? Whose kingdom will it be next? But fire is not the only trial that life must endure. Somewhere else on the planet, another war is breaking out, where the enemy has no fang or claw, but is the cold itself. A howl rips across the Siberian sky, then another echo cuts through millions of snow-laden pines, slicing through air, frozen at -45 degrees Celsius. Then the whole forest shudders, not from the wind, but from life waking. At the very heart of death, the blizzard pours down from the north, sweeping across the taiga like a giant hand. That wipes away every trace. Visibility drops to a few feet. Through that white curtain, a huge dark shape looms into view. A moose? A creature weighing close to 1,000 pounds, about 450 kilograms, lowers its head against the skin-cutting wind. And just behind it, at the edge of the pines, a pair of amber eyes flares bright, then suddenly vanishes. The Siberian tiger is the largest cat on the planet, the ghost of the winter forest. But today, it does not attack. It waits, because in Siberia, patience is the deadliest weapon of all. The Russian winter does not merely freeze the ground, it rewrites every rule of survival. From the vast taiga to the Arctic tundra, from the ice-capped peaks to the hidden world deep beneath the snow, winter here lasts 7 long months and shows no mercy to anyone. But in a cold that can freeze metal solid, who is the true ruler? The answer lies not in strength, but in adaptation. And every creature in this forest is proving it in its own way. The winter sun falls on the taiga, a ribbon of pale gold laid evenly across millions of motionless pines. In this stillness, the real fight to survive is only beginning. The Siberian tiger, whose scientific name is Panthera tigris altaica, needs no flashy introduction. It is the lone king of the winter taiga, and the cold is its ally. The Siberian tiger's winter coat is twice as thick as its summer coat. Each hair is hollow inside, trapping heat like the most perfect insulation system in nature. Its body can endure temperatures, plunging to -50 degrees Celsius, a threshold at which even steel turns brittle and shatters. But it is sheer size that makes the Siberian tiger an absolute ruler. A grown male, weighs 272 kilograms and runs about 3 meters long, tail included. A single male's territory can span from 400 to 1,500 square miles, an area larger than a city. On the harshest winter days, when the temperature bottoms out and the snow piles 1.2 meters deep, the Siberian tiger becomes almost the only creature that dares to move across the ground. Its tracks pressed into the untouched snow, broad as a dinner plate, sunk deep but evenly spaced, are the only proof that the largest land predator in the world is still out patrolling its kingdom. Its orange and black stripes, perfect camouflage in the summer forest, turn faint in winter under a thin film of snow clinging to the fur. That turns the tiger into a gray-white ghost, gliding past the pines. Only around 750 Siberian tigers now live wild in Russia. The International Union for Conservation of Nature lists them as endangered, on the edge of running out. With every winter, the Siberian tiger's battle is not only against the cold, but against its own extinction. But in the tears of winter, power does not belong only to the loner. Some creatures understand that true strength lies in numbers. The wolf, whose scientific name is Canis lupus, is a perfect counterweight to the Siberian tiger. If the tiger is a lone king, the wolf is an army. In summer, wolves spread out into small family groups. But when the first blizzard sweeps across the taiga, an ancient instinct calls them back together. 5 to 15 animals, sometimes more, gather under the lead of the alpha pair, the only wolves allowed to breed in the pack. Their howl is not merely a sound. It is the most sophisticated long-range communication system among land mammals. Each howl carries a unique frequency, carrying farther than 10 miles. Through the biting air of the taiga, summoning the pack's members from across the territory. And once the pack has mustered, the collective hunting machine swings into motion. Their favorite winter target is the moose, prey weighing 10 times more than a single wolf. Once the target is chosen, the chase begins. A moose runs faster than a wolf, but deep snow is the grazer's true enemy. Each step grows heavier. Every passing minute brings more exhaustion, and the wolves know how to wait. When the prey goes down, the feeding hierarchy kicks in at once. The alpha pair always eats first, then the beta wolves, and finally the lowest-ranking members. This order is not cruelty, it is strategy. The alpha pair must keep enough strength to breed, securing the whole pack's survival through winter. And in the fading half-light of the winter day, the howl rises again. It is a call to regroup, a confirmation that today the pack is still whole. The wolf's double coat, a soft inner layer for warmth, and a coarse outer layer to block the wind, lets them sleep out in the open, at -40 degrees Celsius with no shelter. The Siberian winter forges the bond, within a wolf pack into something like steel. The packs that survive the harshest winters are the ones that are most united. But not every predator needs a pack. Deep in the silent taiga, one creature has turned solitude into a weapon. The Eurasian lynx is the real ghost of the Siberian pines. If the Siberian tiger relies on strength and the wolf on numbers, the lynx needs only one thing: absolute silence. Its mottled grey winter coat blends completely with the pine bark and moss-covered rock, making it nearly invisible when it holds still. But the lynx's deadliest weapon lies in its feet. Enormous paws, oversized for its body, spread its weight across the snow like natural snowshoes. The lynx moves across the snow, leaving almost no trace and not a sound. No disturbance, only a deadly approach. In winter, when food is scarce and energy must be conserved, the lynx shifts into active patrol. It moves constantly across a territory that can stretch to 1,000 square miles. Today's prey is a grouse, a bird scratching through the snow for fresh shoots. The lynx creeps slowly closer, but today luck is not on its side. The grouse beats its wings and bursts away before the lynx can strike. The distinctive black tufts at the tips of its ears are not for show, but antennas for catching sound. They let the lynx detect a noise from farther away than any cat of the same size. But the lynx is not the only creature. That turns solitude into an advantage. In the snow-covered northern latitudes, another species is proving. That cunning can sometimes outdo fang and claw. The Arctic fox is one of the creatures most perfectly adapted to cold on this planet. Its winter coat shifts from grayish-brown to pure white so perfectly that when the fox lies still, it vanishes completely into the snow. A compact body, short legs, small round ears, everything evolved to minimize the surface area that loses heat. And here is the most astonishing figure: the Arctic fox will not begin to shiver until the temperature drops below -70 degrees Celsius. That is a level of cold at which most mammals would already be dead. But warm fur is not enough without food. And on this frozen tundra, the Arctic fox has developed an extraordinary hunting technique, the mouse pounce. Head tilted, ears pricked, it listens for the tiny sounds of rodents moving beneath the snow. Then it springs high, plunging headfirst into the snow, punching through the hard crust of ice to seize the prey hidden below. It buries the leftovers in shallow caches under the snow, a reserve for the blizzard days, when going out becomes impossible. The Arctic fox's survival does not depend on strength or speed, but on intelligence and the ability to turn every chance into a meal. But if the Arctic fox is the specialist of the tundra, the red fox is the specialist of everywhere. The red fox also uses the mouse pounce, but with a secret that science is still trying to crack. It is theorized that the red fox can sense Earth's magnetic field and use it like a natural targeting system to pinpoint prey beneath the snow. But the red fox is more than a hunter. It is the ultimate opportunist, scavenging whatever the winter leaves behind. Perhaps it is this flexibility that explains why. The red fox has the widest distribution of any member of the dog family. They are found from the taiga of Russia to the Sahara Desert, from the Arctic to the suburbs of Tokyo. On the coldest winter days, the red fox curls up at the base of a tree, wrapping its thick tail around its nose, forming a perfect, natural blanket of fur. Unlike any other dog, the red fox can partly retract its claws. This is a cat-like trait that helps it grip slick ice during a chase. The Russian winter is nature's oldest test, and every species on this land writes its own different answer. South Luangwa in the arid dry season. Hunger transforms the wilderness into a ruthless arena. The lion dominates with extraordinary strength. The hyena frantically scrambles for every scrap of bone. The leopard silently lies in wait from the dark canopy. Who is the ultimate ruler? Leave your choice and join us to discover. South Luangwa, full episode. Survival in the drought. According to 2024 data from Panthera and the IUCN Red List, the number of lions in Africa has declined by over 40% in the past 30 years, with an estimated total of only 20,000 to 25,000 individuals remaining in the wild. In Zambia, South Luangwa remains a bright spot thanks to dedicated conservation efforts, anti-poaching initiatives, satellite tracking of lion prides, and programs that raise awareness within local communities. Some well-known prides in central Luangwa, like the Big Pride, once numbering over 30 individuals, have since split into smaller groups, now scattered across areas like Mwamba and Nsefu, continuing to write their own stories across the grasslands and red soil of this remarkable valley. Are you more impressed by the hunting prowess of the leopard or the lion? Please let us know your choice in the comments section. Following the quiet footsteps of the lion, the ruler of the scorched plains, the towering silhouettes of African elephants emerge along the Luangwa River's floodplains. Slow-moving yet full of presence, they make their way toward the water, carrying with them the wisdom and herd instincts honed over thousands of generations. Adult males can weigh up to 6,350 kilograms and stand over 4 meters tall at the shoulder, nearly as high as a 2-story house. This immense size is not only an advantage, but also a challenge during the dry season, when food and water become scarce. Their ears, large like kites and lined with dense networks of blood vessels, act as natural radiators, helping their massive bodies release heat under the valley's intense sun. In central Luangwa, where temperatures can soar above 40 degrees Celsius during the peak of the dry season, this ability to regulate body temperature is a vital key to survival. The long, flexible trunk, made up of more than 40,000 individual muscles, is a multi-purpose tool that allows them to eat, drink, communicate, offer comfort or guidance through gentle touches, and even breathe while crossing deep stretches of river. Elephant tusks, in fact, are elongated upper incisors that grow throughout their lives. They are not just tools for digging water from dry hollows, but also for breaking trees, clearing paths through dense forest, or defending themselves from threats. In central Luangwa, where the Luangwa River becomes the sole lifeline during the dry season, the presence of elephants is far more than just part of the scenery. They carve out pathways through dense forest and mopan woodlands, creating passageways for smaller species to follow. Their movements topple trees and clear patches in the forest, making way for new vegetation to grow. With every journey, they disperse seeds through their dung, a form of planting that no other creature does quite as effectively. Recent studies by Elephant Voices and Fauna and Flora continue to confirm the remarkable intelligence of this species. They can remember routes to water sources that dried up years ago, distinguish dozens of different sounds in their environment, and use low-frequency vocalizations that can travel up to 10 kilometers to stay in contact with other groups. No GPS, no maps, yet elephant herds know every path, every waterhole, every potential threat across their vast territory. In elephant society, the matriarch is usually the oldest and most experienced female, like an elder who remembers even the harshest seasons of drought. The entire herd moves in step with her, from the youngest calves to the full-grown adults. When one of their own falls, the others often gather around, touching the body gently with their trunks in silence. Such behavior was once seen as mere instinct, but today, science recognizes it as a sign of emotional intelligence, something rare and profound in the animal kingdom. African elephant populations are declining rapidly in many regions due to poaching and habitat loss. According to data released by the World Wildlife Fund in 2024, the total number of African elephants across the continent is estimated at only around 415,000 individuals, a nearly 30% drop compared to 2 decades ago. But in the Luangwa region, where community-based conservation initiatives, armed ranger patrols, and GPS tracking technologies are working in unison, elephant herds still have a chance to continue writing their story. From the scattered rocky outcrops around the mopan woodlands, a sound rings out, loud and decisive, breaking the silence of early morning. It's the call of the Cape Baboon, one of the largest, smartest, and most socially organized primates in southern Africa. They start their day with confidence and commotion, as if this land is their well-known domain, where every step has already been mapped out in their minds. In the Luangwa Valley, Chakma baboons are commonly found around rocky highlands, forest edges, and buffer zones near the river. Adult males can weigh up to 40 kilograms and measure over 1.2 meters in length, nearly 3 times the average weight of a female. Their fur ranges from brownish gray to ash gray, sometimes with a thicker mane around the neck, helping them blend easily into the dusty red terrain, rocky outcrops, and short grasslands. In 1972, South Luangwa officially became a national park, located in Eastern Province, in the eastern part of Zambia, near the borders with Malawi and Mozambique. This national park spans over 9,050 square kilometers, stretching between the slopes of the Muchinga Escarpment and the ever-winding Luangwa River. Central Luangwa is where life gathers around the Luangwa River. As the dry season stretches on, water recedes, turning the river into the sole lifeline. Settling mud and deposited silt give rise to old, weathered oxbow lakes, still brimming with life. All creatures are drawn to this place. Walking safaris in central Luangwa offer one of the most iconic experiences, where visitors trek 6 to 8 kilometers each day through forests and grasslands, following in the footsteps of wildlife. Guided by seasoned experts, every step becomes a quiet journey of discovery, a way of storytelling that no vehicle could ever reach. As sunset falls over central Luangwa, the silent crown is passed to the leopard. Just as the impala herd retreats to the forest edge to escape the rising heat, the ground begins to tremble with a low, distant rumble. It's the synchronized footsteps of hundreds of Cape buffalo, moving with the order and presence of an ancient army, silently patrolling the boundary between forest and river. Cape buffalo are among the most powerfully built hoofed animals in Africa. Adult males can weigh up to 950 kilograms and stand nearly 1.7 meters tall at the shoulder, with wide, curved horns and a thick, hardened forehead shield known as the boss, both a tool for defense and a symbol of dominance within the herd. Cape buffalo are never alone. They live in large herds, sometimes numbering in the thousands. Within the herd, social structure is organized into smaller units, family groups led by females, while males typically form bachelor groups, only rejoining the main herd during the breeding season. Ecologists have even documented a behavior known as collective voting when the herd decides which direction to move. Each female stands up and faces a specific direction, and the majority ultimately determines the day's route, an instinctive form of animal democracy. The diet of Cape buffalo consists mainly of grasses and soft-stemmed vegetation, making them highly dependent on moisture and the plant growing season. During the rainy season, food is abundant across the plains, but when the dry season sets in, they are forced to move closer to the Luangwa River, sometimes even swimming across crocodile-filled waters to reach grazing areas on the opposite bank. Their impressive swimming ability is a testament to both their muscular endurance and their unyielding drive to survive. In the wild, Cape buffalo have an average lifespan of about 15 to 25 years. A female carries her calf for approximately 11 months before giving birth. The newborn is closely protected by the herd, especially during its first months of life, when lions and hyenas often lurk near shallow water sources. Studies in South Luangwa have shown that calf survival rates heavily depend on the size and structure of the herd, supporting the idea that collective strength plays a vital role in the species' survival strategies. Though they rarely hunt, Cape buffalo have earned the nickname Black Death, a name born from their unpredictable nature and ability to launch sudden counterattacks when threatened. Few animals can drive a lion into retreat, but buffalo can, especially when they band together to fight back. It's a powerful reminder that in the wild, strength doesn't come only from claws and fangs, but also from unity and the fierce will to survive that the Creator has instilled in every living being He has made. In the wild expanse where Mopani woodlands stretch wide, the silhouette of a bird glides with a tilted, wavering flight across the Zambian sky. Its unusual, swaying movement, short tail, jet black and chestnut plumage, and striking crimson face make it stand out against the harsh landscape of central Luangwa. This is the bateleur, a sub-Saharan African eagle, a silent nomad, yet a commanding presence in this semi-arid ecosystem. The first telltale sign is its signature flight, like a dry leaf carried by the wind, a result of its unusually short tail, unlike that of any other eagle. Each time it rides a thermal, its body moves with fluid grace, as if dancing across the sky. This bird commands a vast territory, on average around 650 square kilometers. Highly territorial, bateleurs show little tolerance for intruders, especially those of the same sex. When an unfamiliar presence is detected, the bateleur performs signature aerial attacks, swooping low and diving head-on into the contested sky at speeds reaching 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, a bold display of its instinct to defend its home range. Beneath the arid skies of Luangwa, where the remains of large hunts often scatter the land, the bateleur plays the vital role of ecological cleaner. Far from the regal image of a solitary predator, it is a classic opportunist, hunting small prey like birds, reptiles, and insects, while also feeding on the carcasses of larger animals. With exceptional eyesight, it's often among the first to spot decaying remains from a great distance, second only to vultures. After each bath, often taken in rain-fed pools, the bateleur perches high on a branch, wings fully outstretched, letting its thick feathers dry while soaking in the warmth of the sun. The sight evokes the image of a guardian spirit, arms open wide in silent, steadfast protection over the land below. Amid the tranquil marshes and dense mopan forests of central Luangwa, a piercing, echoing call slices through the stillness. It is the cry of the African fish eagle, the iconic bird of prey of Zambia. The moment that sound rings out, you know, the king of the skies is awake. Though it can't swim in the physiological sense, it moves underwater with surprising ease. Weighing up to 1,800 kilograms in males and measuring nearly 4 meters in length, the hippo has nearly hairless skin that is highly sensitive to sunlight. To protect itself, its body secretes a pale pink oil, often mistaken for blood sweat. But in reality, it's a unique biological compound that functions as a natural sunscreen, antibacterial agent, and moisturizer. This remarkable adaptation has never been documented in any other mammal species. As night falls, temperatures drop and silence settles over the land, the hippo emerges from the water, following worn dirt trails along the banks of the lagoon to begin its nightly forage. With lips spanning up to 70 centimeters wide, it grazes by clipping grass close to the roots, methodically working its way across the lowland meadows. Each night, a hippo can consume up to 40 kilograms of grass and is willing to travel as far as 8 kilometers from the lagoon in search of nourishment. Contrary to their seemingly sluggish appearance in water, a threatened hippo can reach speeds of up to 48 kilometers per hour on land, a remarkable feat for an animal of such immense size. In the lagoon regions, they live in social groups known as pods, typically consisting of one dominant male, multiple females, and their young. Each pod controls a specific stretch of water, and the dominant male defends this territory through roaring vocalizations, intimidating gestures, and, when necessary, fierce physical combat. Fights for dominance can result in serious injuries and at times even prove fatal. Reproduction takes place in the water, typically at the end of the rainy season, following a gestation period of about 8 months. Each birth yields a single calf weighing between 25 and 45 kilograms. The calf can nurse both underwater and on land and is closely guarded by its mother throughout the first year of life. Here's an astonishing but genetically confirmed fact. The hippo is the closest living land relative to whales and dolphins. They share a common ancestor that lived around 55 million years ago, originating from a group of ancient, semi-aquatic hoofed mammals. This connection explains why hippos, though living in freshwater, exhibit many biological traits similar to marine mammals, from ear structures and closable nostrils to their ability to vocalize underwater by vibrating the larynx. According to the latest 2023 assessment by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, the hippopotamus is now classified as vulnerable due to habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and poaching for their ivory-like canines. In Zambia, especially within South Luangwa National Park, active conservation efforts by local communities and international organizations have helped maintain stable hippo populations. Pristine water bodies like Luamfwa and Kapamba have become natural biological fortresses, offering vital refuge for this giant of the wild. In the shallow waters glistening under the morning light, a pod of hippopotamuses lies motionless, with only their rounded backs and small ears visible above the surface. Right beside them, a yellow-billed stork steps gently, its pale pink legs gliding over the muddy ground as if careful not to wake the giants soaking nearby. With its signature curved yellow bill, the stork slowly scans the water's surface, occasionally striking down, lightning fast, to catch a small fish or insect hiding beneath the mud. The yellow-billed stork stands between 90 and 105 centimeters tall, with an average wingspan of about 160 centimeters and a weight of around 2 kilograms. It prefers shallow waters ranging from 10 to 40 centimeters deep, where the movement of small fish, frogs, and aquatic insects is limited, making them ideal targets for the stork's specialized hunting technique. The yellow-billed stork uses a hunting technique known as the snap bill reflex, a lightning-fast response that allows it to close its bill in just 0.025 seconds upon detecting slight movement in the water. To draw prey out from mud and vegetation, it gently stirs the bottom of the lagoon with one foot, creating a baiting effect. As soon as a fish, crustacean, or insect is exposed, the rapid reflex of its golden bill does the rest. The behavior of the yellow-billed stork reflects a highly social nature. They rarely feed alone, often foraging in groups that can number in the dozens. They are also colonial nesters, building large stick nests high in trees along lagoons or in clusters of mopane trees near water. Each nest can reach nearly 1 meter in height and is reused across multiple breeding seasons. Chicks are fed by both parents, who regurgitate partially digested food, and they're even cooled during hot spells, either by the gentle fanning of wings or by dripping water directly into their open beaks. Within the lagoon ecosystems of South Luangwa, the presence of the yellow-billed stork carries significant ecological value. As a mid-level predator in the freshwater food chain, it helps regulate populations of small fish, crustaceans, and insects, indirectly maintaining balance across trophic levels. Moreover, its foraging behavior of stirring the water creates ripple effects that benefit other species such as egrets, herons, and jacanas, allowing them to capitalize on the disturbed prey. This symbiotic dynamic contributes to a layered, stable, and mutually supportive biological network. With no need for roars or a following pride, it rules the night through quiet grace, agility, and razor-sharp precision, a true predator in its purest form. Leopard territories in the Luangwa Valley vary significantly depending on the individual and its gender. Males may occupy vast areas ranging from 28 to 56 square kilometers, while females typically control smaller ranges from 3 to over 40 square kilometers. These territories often overlap, especially between males and females during mating periods, but direct conflicts are rare unless there's immediate competition. Unlike species built for long chases or coordinated group hunts, the leopard chooses a solitary, slow, and stealthy way of life. It is neither loud nor showy, yet it stands as one of the most effective hunters in the wild. Thanks to a highly varied diet, ranging from insects, birds, and reptiles to hoofed mammals, the leopard is remarkably adaptable to different environments, including the dry, open woodlands of central Luangwa. Unlike other large predators that prefer to hunt during the day, the leopard chooses the night to become the forest's unseen ruler. They live in troops ranging from 20 to 80 individuals, led by a dominant male who takes on the role of guiding movement, offering protection and maintaining order. This social structure is highly flexible, held together through behaviors like grooming, food sharing, and caring for the young. These strong social bonds not only help the troop stay united when faced with predators, but also foster a community with a remarkable capacity for learning and adaptation. As true omnivores, Chakma baboons consume nearly anything digestible in their environment, from grasses, roots, fruits and tender leaves to seeds, insects, bird eggs, and small animals like lizards, mice, and nestlings. Their flexibility in food choices is one of the key factors that allows them to thrive across a wide range of habitats, from open woodlands to semi-deserts, and even mountainous regions. In central Luangwa, they often track the seasonal changes of available resources, especially fruiting trees along the Luangwa River or near wetlands during the rainy season. When the dry season arrives, baboon troops retreat to higher ground, areas with clear vantage points and rugged terrain that help them steer clear of predators like leopards. Though they are prey animals, Chakma baboons have been observed coordinating group responses for defense, especially when their young are under threat. Cape baboons use more than 30 distinct vocalizations combined with facial expressions and body postures to signal warnings, coordinate movement, or express emotion within the troop. Behavioral studies by the Wildlife Conservation Society during the 2023 to 2024 period confirmed that the body language of Chakma baboons can shift depending on social context, terrain, and the relationships between individuals in the group. Their communication abilities are considered among the most complex of any non-human primate species. As the last echoes of the Cape baboon troop fade into the open woodland, a herd of impalas begins to appear on the dew-soaked grass. With night vision nearly 7 times stronger than that of humans, it uses the darkness like a cloak, masking every move in perfect concealment. The leopard's coat is covered in rosettes that serve as a perfect camouflage. When lying on a bed of sun-dappled dry leaves, it almost disappears from sight. This species ranges in size from 30 to 90 kilograms, depending on gender and living conditions, with a body length that can reach nearly 2 meters, including the tail. This species' stalking skills are iconic among predators. Every step is measured with precision, every breath held tight in the throat like an archer drawing an arrow taut on the string. When the moment is right, it launches forward at speeds of up to 58 kilometers per hour, closing the distance in a heartbeat and delivering a powerful pounce. Once the leopard has taken down its prey, it never leaves it on the ground. Not out of greed, but from a deep understanding that other carnivores, like lions or spotted hyenas, will never pass up an easy opportunity. With its powerful build, the leopard drags the carcass high into the trees, onto branches only it can reach with ease. The gently curving limbs of the mopane tree may bend, but they remain strong enough to cradle the prize for days. If it does not protect its prize, the leopard could lose its meal to the lion, the absolute ruler of Luangwa. In the shimmering heat rising from the cracked earth, the lion doesn't need to flaunt its strength. Its silence alone is enough to command caution across the entire savanna. The African fish eagle is an essential part of the natural rhythm of South Luangwa National Park. With its pure white head and chest, deep brown wings and curved golden beak, its image is etched against the vivid blue sky and mirrored in the shimmering waters below. Though found widely across sub-Saharan Africa, it is always closely tied to areas near water, places rich in fish where it thrives. This bird is impressively large, with a wingspan that can reach up to 2.4 meters. Its powerful legs are perfectly designed for catching fish. The rough texture on the soles of its feet, combined with sharply curved talons, creates an ideal gripping mechanism, allowing it to hold onto slippery prey mid-air with little need for adjustment after impact. The African fish eagle's hunting strategy is both simple and highly effective. It typically chooses a high perch near the water's edge to watch for movement below. When a fish swims close to the surface, the eagle dives in an instant at high speed, talons skimming the water to snatch the prey in a single fluid motion. There's no hesitation, no wasted movement. Each action refined over thousands of generations for precision and energy efficiency. When needed, it can retreat to marshes to hunt small water birds, reptiles, or even feed on carrion, demonstrating impressive flexibility in its diet. Beyond its hunting skills, the African fish eagle also displays intelligence and opportunism. It is a kleptoparasite, capable of stealing prey from other birds like kingfishers or herons. This behavior reflects a clever form of competition within the food chain, a survival tactic in a wild environment where resources are limited and constantly shifting. The reproductive life of this bird is deeply rooted in long-term bonding. African fish eagles are monogamous and often remain together for life. Their nests are built from sticks and placed high in trees near rivers or marshes, with diameters reaching up to 2 meters. These nests are reused and gradually expanded year after year. During each breeding cycle, the pair typically lays 1 to 3 eggs, and both parents share the responsibilities of incubating the eggs and caring for their young. Within the central Luangwa ecosystem, the African fish eagle serves as a natural bioindicator. Its consistent presence signals that the river and wetland systems remain clean and biologically productive enough to sustain fish and other aquatic life. Ecologically, its role in regulating populations of smaller fish also helps maintain balance within aquatic systems, preventing population surges that could disrupt nutrient dynamics and overall ecosystem health. Did you know that beyond Zambia, this bird is also a national symbol of countries like Zimbabwe and South Sudan? People see it as a representation of courage, far-sightedness, and a strong spirit of independence. Beneath every sky lives a different soul of the land. Tell us in the comments what bird symbolizes your homeland. Continuing the journey of endemic species, the skies over the Southern Loop and Nsefu sector light up as hundreds of southern carmine bee-eaters take flight. Their carmine-pink plumage with touches of turquoise creates vibrant streaks across the dry season Miombo landscape, both a visual spectacle and a reflection of their perfect adaptation to wind, rivers, and fire. The southern carmine bee-eater is a true aerial master among insect-eating birds. Its hunting technique is based on the hawking strategy, a method that demands pinpoint accuracy as it launches from a perch, often a bare branch, to snatch flying insects mid-air. Despite the name bee-eater, its diet goes far beyond just bees. It includes termites, cicadas, dragonflies, butterflies, grasshoppers. Any insect that dares stray from cover becomes fair game. In this land, natural fires frequently sweep through at the end of the dry season. That's when the southern carmine bee-eater appears, circling the fire's edge like streaks of living color. A feast unfolds amid flames, smoke, and raw survival instinct. Even large animals like bustards, storks, or passing safari jeeps are closely followed, because their movement alone is enough to stir up insects from their hiding places. During the breeding season, the soft clay riverbanks of the Luangwa become massive nesting grounds. Southern carmine bee-eaters are colonial nesters, with hundreds of individuals digging tunnels side by side along the same riverbank face. Each nest is a tunnel that can reach up to 2 meters in depth, ending in a compact chamber where eggs are safely incubated. Their migration journey follows a delicate 3-stage cycle. They begin by breeding along rivers such as the Zambezi or in regions like the Caprivi Strip of Namibia. After the breeding season, they move southward to avoid the heavy early rains and eventually spend the winter near the African equator, where insects remain abundant year-round. The evolutionary roots of the lion can be traced back hundreds of thousands of years, when their ancestors once roamed the icy plains of Europe, the deserts of the Middle East, and the grasslands of Africa. Today, their presence remains only in sub-Saharan Africa and a small population in India. In South Luangwa, especially in the central Luangwa region, lions still exist in relatively high density, making it one of the last natural strongholds where this majestic species continues to thrive in stable numbers. Here, lions live in tightly bonded groups known as prides, with a well-defined social structure where every individual plays an irreplaceable role. The lionesses are the heart of the pride. They work together to hunt, raise the young, and maintain the social bonds that hold the group together. Meanwhile, the males are the guardians of the territory, driving off intruders that could threaten the pride's stability and safety. The semi-arid climate of Luangwa draws a clear line between two seasons. When the dry season arrives, from May to October, the land transforms into a true test of endurance. Water becomes scarce, the grasses turn brittle and sparse, and most animals are forced to gather around the last remaining waterholes, where lions lie in wait. In the wild, lionesses move like shadows. They make no noise, no rush, only patience, like seasoned hunters born for the chase. When prey appears, they surge forward in a sudden burst, reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. Their eyes see 6 times better than a human's in the dark. Their claws are razor sharp, and their bodies are so agile they can leap over 11 meters in a single pounce. With one precise bite to the throat, the hunt ends in just seconds. Beneath the scorching sunlight that glazes the still waters of the Luamphwa and Kapamba lagoons, a thick, scaly form lies motionless at the river's edge. Unseen beneath the surface, the Nile crocodile waits, its cold, unblinking eyes fixed, alert to the slightest movement. All it takes is a single young antelope lowering its head to drink, and the swamp's ruler of South Luangwa will awaken. The form of the Nile crocodile is the result of millions of years of relentless evolution. Reaching lengths of up to 6 meters and weighing over 680 kilograms, it is the largest reptile in Africa. It holds the record for the most powerful bite force ever recorded in the animal kingdom, up to 22,000 newtons. Its weapon isn't speed or agility, but the power to wait, ambush, and strike with pinpoint precision in a fraction of a second. The Nile crocodile is an opportunistic predator. While fish make up the core of its diet, it readily expands its menu to include water birds, medium-sized mammals, and even smaller reptiles, including its own kind when necessary. In the lagoons of Luamphwa and Kapamba, where the current slows and fish remain abundant year-round, they dominate the shallows and sandy banks, most active during early mornings and late afternoons. They can also move upstream through side channels, using their powerful tails to propel through the water or deliver sweeping strikes across the surface to stun unsuspecting prey. Despite their rugged, wild appearance, Nile crocodiles display a level of parental care rarely seen among reptiles. The breeding season begins at the end of the dry season, when receding waters expose sandy riverbanks, the preferred nesting grounds for females. Each clutch can contain anywhere from 25 to 80 eggs, buried beneath a layer of moist sand. Slender, swift, and ever alert, they have no claws or sharp fangs, only sharp instincts and lightning-fast reflexes as their tools for survival in a wilderness full of unseen challenges. Impalas may not carry the imposing presence of larger hoofed animals, but they are masters of survival through agility. Weighing between 40 and 75 kilograms and standing around 90 centimeters at the shoulder, their body proportions are built for movement, capable of leaping up to 10 meters in distance and 3 meters high. These are not just feats of athleticism, but vital tactics for evading Africa's predators in the blink of an eye. Their wide, watchful eyes stay alert in every direction, while upright ears catch even the faintest sounds, a constant early warning system amidst thick bush and open grassland. Impalas could easily be seen as walking meals in the eyes of many predators in South Luangwa, but they are far from passive. Beyond physical agility, impalas rely on highly effective social strategies. Living in herds helps reduce the risk of predation through the dilution effect, where a predator's focus is scattered across dozens of moving targets, lowering the chances of any single individual being caught. The diet of the impala is remarkably flexible. While they primarily graze on grass, they will also browse on leaves, fresh shoots, or even fruit when necessary, especially during the extended dry season from May to October. This ability to shift their diet allows impalas to survive across a wide range of climates and vegetation types, a crucial advantage in an ecosystem that's constantly being reshaped by climate change. Fascinatingly, the sex of the hatchlings is determined entirely by temperature. Around 31.6 degrees Celsius typically produces males, while temperatures either higher or lower result in females, a process known as temperature-dependent sex determination. As the eggs near hatching, tiny peep sounds from within the shells signal to the mother that it's time to help her young break free. She gently lifts each egg with her snout, carrying them to the water's edge. After hatching, both the mother and father may guard the hatchlings for the first few weeks, a critical period when the risk of predation is high from birds of prey, large fish, and even other adult Nile crocodiles. This species can live for over 50 years in captivity, and many individuals in the wild have been recorded living beyond 60. A testament to their remarkable resilience and adaptability. In South Luangwa, particularly within the lagoon systems of Luamphwa and Kapamba, which serve as crucial water sources during the dry season, the Nile crocodile continues to maintain a stable population thanks to strict conservation policies and a relatively untouched natural environment. In your opinion, is there any animal with a bite force greater than the Nile crocodile that science has not yet discovered? It may seem that the Nile crocodile rules over anything that dares approach the swamp, but there is one resident even it thinks twice about: the hippopotamus. With a massive frame, axe-like teeth, and a temperament so fierce it can tear apart a full-grown crocodile when provoked, the hippo commands deep respect. Conflicts usually arise only when resources run low or when one of them crosses the line. Each day, the hippo spends most of its time submerged, not swimming like a fish, but walking or gently bouncing along the riverbed. Much like the spotted hyena, a predator thriving through tight-knit social bonds, the African wild dog also survives through the strength of the pack. As dusk settles over the Muchinga escarpment, agile silhouettes glide past with effortless grace. The African wild dog is a true master of cooperation. They live in tightly bonded packs of 6 to 20 individuals led by a dominant breeding pair. Every pup is cared for by the entire pack, and even injured members are fed and supported. Unusually for a pack-based species, it's the females, not the males, who disperse upon reaching maturity. This strategy helps prevent inbreeding and expands the genetic diversity of the population. Individuals constantly communicate through vocal calls, body gestures, and even sneezes, a unique form of voting used to reach consensus on whether to hunt or move. Every sound, every glance carries meaning, allowing the entire pack to function as a unified, highly coordinated force. Unlike any other member of the dog family, the African wild dog is the only surviving species in the genus Lycaon, marked by distinct biological features, such as having only 4 toes on each foot instead of 5, and a mottled coat of brown, black, white, and yellow patches that are unique to every individual. Their large, rounded ears not only amplify sound, but also serve as biological radiators, helping regulate body temperature during long, high-speed hunts under the intense heat of the dry tropics. In South Luangwa National Park, where the complex terrain of the Muchinga Escarpment creates ecological transition zones between woodland and savanna, the African wild dog holds its place as a vital link in the food chain. An adult typically weighs between 18 and 36 kilograms and measures from 100 to 153 centimeters in length. Though not as physically imposing as the spotted hyena, their hunting prowess is formidable, commanding the respect of even the most experienced predators. The hunting ability of the African wild dog far surpasses what many imagine of a wild canine. Their hunting success rate reaches up to 80%, significantly higher than that of lions, which typically achieve only about 25 to 30%. The strategy of the African wild dog doesn't rely on a single precision pounce, but on endurance and sustained speed. They can maintain speeds of around 60 kilometers per hour over long distances, gradually wearing down their prey before delivering the final blow. Their usual targets include impala, bushbuck, or young wildebeest, herd animals prone to scattering under pressure, which plays right into the dog's coordinated tactics. The African wild dog plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance by regulating prey populations, easing pressure on vegetation, and preventing overpopulation among herbivores. However, the species is currently classified as endangered by the IUCN, with only around 6,600 mature individuals remaining in the wild. These are spread across 39 small, often genetically isolated populations due to the loss of natural migration corridors. In South Luangwa, where the population is showing signs of recovery thanks to effective conservation policies and reduced human-wildlife conflict, the survival journey of the African wild dog is still far from secure. Threats such as diseases like canine distemper and rabies, along with pressures from agricultural expansion and road development through forested areas, are gradually shrinking the species' already limited habitat. Amid the sheer cliffs and rugged slopes of the Miombo Highlands, the klipspringer doesn't rely on speed to survive. Instead, with leaps measured to the centimeter and hooves no wider than a coin, it glides across the rocky surfaces as if born from the terrain itself, light, steady, and almost incapable of slipping. In the southern loop and Nsefu sector of South Luangwa National Park, the klipspringer has found an almost perfect refuge. Steep slopes, slippery rock surfaces, and scattered vegetation typical of the southern Miombo woodland create a natural labyrinth, where adaptation is the sole condition for survival. With elevation gradually rising to around 1,400 meters above sea level, surface water becomes scarce, humidity remains low year-round, and the presence of humans is nearly non-existent. The body structure of the klipspringer is a clear testament to natural selection at work. Standing only about 50 to 60 centimeters tall and weighing between 8 and 18 kilograms, it is equipped with powerful legs and small but exceptionally tough hooves. These hooves allow it to grip tightly onto sharp, slick rock surfaces. Thanks to this specialized footing, a klipspringer can leap vertically up to 3 to 3.6 meters, an astonishing feat for such a small animal, especially when the landing spot may be just a few square centimeters in size. Their coat is also a marvel of biological adaptation. Thick, coarse, and hollow on the inside, each hair acts as insulation against the chilly highland nights and serves as a built-in cushion, softening the impact as they move across jagged rocks. Klipspringers live as lifelong pairs, rarely straying from one another, maintaining a deep and lasting bond. They do not migrate with the seasons, but hold firmly to a single territory over time, marking it with secretions from pre-orbital glands and dung, an effective ecological map that helps avoid conflict and strengthens the pair's connection. When faced with a threat, the two often stand close together, letting out a sharp, whistle-like alarm call before climbing to the highest nearby vantage point to keep watch for predators. In an arid environment where water is not available year-round, the klipspringer has evolved to rely entirely on moisture from its food. It primarily feeds on leaves, flowers, and berries from native trees such as mopane, marula, and tamarind, species scattered throughout the open Miombo woodlands. Its compact body helps conserve energy, a major advantage during prolonged dry seasons that few other animals can withstand. In the face of nature's harshest conditions, sometimes the true miracle isn't brute strength, but quiet endurance and relentless adaptability. As if the Creator placed this tiny creature in the toughest corner of the wild to remind us, life, when given a chance, will always find a way. In the rising stone ridges toward the west, life continues to tell its story in its own quiet way, with a rhythm that is both cautious and enduring. Not loud, not fierce, but deeply complex, like the way a troop of vervet monkeys quietly survives and thrives among the rocky cliffs of the Muchinga escarpment. At an elevation of around 1,400 meters above sea level, the climate here is cooler than in the valley below, with brief bursts of rain and surface water nearly disappearing during the prolonged dry season. These conditions present a clear challenge, yet they also offer the perfect setting to witness how a small primate species uses every skill and social behavior it has to sustain its kind. Vervet monkeys live in large troops of 20 to 30 individuals, sometimes exceeding 50, a miniature society with clearly defined social hierarchies. What's remarkable is that these hierarchies are structured separately for males and females. Males often hold dominant roles, but once they reach maturity, they leave their birth troop to join another, a behavior that boosts genetic diversity and helps prevent inbreeding. Vervet monkeys have developed an impressively rich and complex communication system. They use over 60 distinct gestures and 36 different vocalizations, each signal assigned a specific purpose. From warning of an eagle overhead to alerting the troop about a leopard or snake on the ground. Each sound is part of a sophisticated social cognition system where individual members can recognize one another by voice alone. As they navigate the rugged terrain of the Muchinga escarpment, vervet monkeys don't rely solely on trees for movement. They are highly active during the day, spending much of their time on the ground in search of food. But as night falls, the entire troop returns to tall trees, averaging around 7.7 meters in height, for rest and protection from predators. Their diet is remarkably varied, ranging from leaves, fruits, and flowers to insects, eggs, and even small animals. This dietary flexibility allows them to adapt to temporary shortages of natural food sources during the dry season. Although there is no specific population data for individual vervet monkey troops in South Luangwa National Park, field observations and wildlife monitoring reports indicate that the species maintains a stable presence along the Muchinga escarpment. The absence of heavy tourism and reduced human pressure likely helps minimize habitat fragmentation, allowing these monkey troops to maintain their natural behaviors and face less competition from invasive species. Sharing the dense canopy layers of the southern Miombo woodland, while vervet monkeys move with agility and alertness, the trumpeter hornbill makes its presence known through sound, melodic and far-reaching, like a cry echoing through the deep forest. Along the slopes of the Muchinga escarpment, its call rings out like an ancient trumpet carried on the wind. The trumpeter hornbill has a look that's hard to mistake. It measures about 58 to 65 centimeters in length, with a bright white belly that starkly contrasts its jet-black back. Its large grey bill stretches forward, and above it sits a raised, rigid structure known as a casque, a hollow formation that acts as a natural amplifier, allowing its calls to echo through the many layers of the forest canopy. Along the Muchinga escarpment, where the terrain shifts rapidly from low foothills to steep rock faces, the trumpeter hornbill is rarely alone. They often appear in small groups, sometimes just a pair, other times gathering in flocks of up to 50 individuals, especially around fruiting trees or communal roosting sites. Their rich, whistling and rasping calls play a vital role in maintaining group cohesion, signaling danger and defending their territory. When the breeding season arrives, the nesting behavior of the trumpeter hornbill becomes more unique than that of any other bird species in the region. The female seals herself inside a tree cavity using a mixture of mud and plant matter brought by the male, leaving only a narrow slit exposed. Through this small opening, the male delivers food to the female and the eggs she is incubating inside. Throughout the entire process, the female remains inside the nest until the chicks are fully feathered and ready to emerge. This is a highly effective survival strategy, protecting the brood from predators such as snakes, mongooses, and egg-eating birds. The trumpeter hornbill may not be an apex predator, but it is an opportunistic forager. Its diet consists mainly of fruit, especially figs, a rich food source in the Miombo woodland, but it won't hesitate to eat insects, nestlings, or eggs if it comes across them while foraging. Amid the tranquil forest layers of the Muchinga escarpment, one might catch sight of an old trumpeter hornbill, its thick, weathered bill bearing the marks of age. Generation after generation, their echoing calls continue to weave into the wild symphony of this remote land, a place where every creature holds a role in nature's enduring dance of survival. In contrast to the klipspringer, a small antelope like a mountain stone clinging to the steep cliffs of the Muchinga escarpment, another silhouette quietly weaves through the thick grass at lower elevations. This is the bushbuck, an antelope of the forest margins, choosing to live tucked away along the edges of woodland and among low, dense thickets. Each adult individual, especially males, possesses a sturdy build with shoulder heights ranging from 70 to 80 centimeters and weights between 40 and 80 kilograms. One of the most recognizable features is the gently twisted, sword-like pair of horns found only in males. These serve not only as weapons in brief clashes between rivals, but also as visual indicators of age and reproductive fitness. Their large, rounded ears can swivel independently to detect sounds from multiple directions. A highly developed sense of smell allows them to detect the scent of predators from a distance. Cautious by nature, they move quietly, often avoiding well-worn trails to keep their presence hidden. Bushbucks are solitary for most of their lives, pairing only during the breeding season. Rather than defending fixed territories, they maintain personal ranges and tend to avoid direct contact with others of their kind, even when sharing the same habitat. Bushbucks don't undertake long-distance migrations, but they do adjust their movement range based on environmental conditions. In dry years, they move closer to hidden springs within rock faces or follow temporary rain-fed channels. Remarkably, this species can survive solely on early morning dew collected on leaves. A unique survival strategy that allows them to persist in water-scarce areas like the upper reaches of the Muchinga Escarpment. Their diet is highly adaptable, consisting of leaves, young shoots, flowers, fruit, soft grasses, and occasionally aquatic plants when available. In South Luangwa National Park, remote areas such as the Muchinga Escarpment Zone, where human presence is minimal and tourism has yet to take deep root, offer the perfect habitat for this elusive antelope to continue thriving. Also along the misty slopes of the Muchinga Escarpment, where the bushbuck tiptoes through layers of dry grass in silence, a faint, musky scent lingers in the air, hinting at the presence of another quiet predator. Cautious, grounded footsteps that make almost no sound mark the approach of a creature often misunderstood: the spotted hyena. No individual spotted hyena lives alone. Each one is part of a structured community known as a clan, a matriarchal society where females lead. A clan can include up to 80 individuals spread across a large territory but bonded through unique social rituals. When members reunite, they greet each other with affectionate gestures, reaffirm social rank, and communicate through a complex array of vocalizations. This fission-fusion structure allows the species to be highly adaptable in hunting and resource management, especially in forested areas with dense cover, like the Mayombo woodlands. In the characteristic Mayombo woodlands of South Luangwa National Park, the spotted hyena is far from the scavenger stereotype often assigned by humans. On the contrary, they are persistent, intelligent hunters and members of one of the most complex social systems among carnivores. With bodies reaching up to 2 meters in length and weights of up to 82 kilograms, these hyenas are both powerful and agile, standing out against the golden grasses and twisted tree trunks of the dry season. Their sandy brown coats patterned with random black spots, a short mane along the back, and rounded ears make them easily recognizable in the forested landscape. In roughly 60% of cases, spotted hyenas actively initiate hunts that are coordinated, large-scale, and impressively efficient. When targeting large prey, they often work in groups of 3 to 15 individuals with clear roles and strategic positioning. The stronger hyenas lead the chase, pushing the prey to exhaustion while others flank from both sides, creating a pincer movement that closes in with precision. With speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour and exceptional endurance, spotted hyenas can pursue prey over long distances, sometimes several kilometers, until the animal's breath grows ragged, opening the window for a final decisive strike. Their bite force is the strongest among all carnivorous mammals, reaching up to 4,500 newtons. This immense power allows them to effortlessly crush leg bones, joints, and even skulls of hoofed animals. In the ecological tapestry of South Luangwa, the spotted hyena is an irreplaceable piece. Their role includes scavenging, an essential ecosystem service that helps prevent the spread of disease by cleaning up carcasses. By consuming often discarded parts like skin, hooves, ligaments, and even bones, spotted hyenas help keep the wilderness clean and naturally balanced. In the Muchinga region, where steep terrain, sparse woodland, and extended dry seasons limit food availability, their omnivorous diet and resilient physiology give them a significant survival advantage. Beneath the cracked layer of mud, the Nile crocodile lies motionless, waiting for a flood that may never come. On the sun-scorched land, the spotted hyena fights over scraps of decaying remains with flocks of ravenous vultures. Among the sparse forest canopy, the leopard stalks in silence. The only sound is the deep rumble of an empty stomach. The 2023 to 2024 rainy season failed catastrophically. El Niño brought a sharp decline in rainfall, leaving over 50% of Zambia's land in drought conditions. For South Luangwa National Park, the impact meant riverbeds left dry and exposed, a collapse in the food chain, disrupted migration patterns, and an unusual surge in disease outbreaks. Yet in this wild sanctuary, life endures, led by species that know how to seize opportunity and hold on to the will to survive. It all began in 1938 when South Luangwa was designated as a game reserve, once a hunting ground for colonial elites. The real turning point came in the 1950s when Norman Carr arrived with a revolutionary idea: that people could walk among wildlife without the need for killing. And from that vision, the walking safari was born, right here on this very land. From the final fracture of the Great Rift Valley, a vast basin opens up like a scripture written in scorched grass, shattered stone, and rivers dyed red with silt-rich waters. South Luangwa is the product of ancient geological shifts where continental plates were once pulled apart, forming deep valleys and rich alluvial plains. Along the Luangwa River, oxbow lakes emerge like lingering scars from the river's many shifts, creating a lively network of lagoons that sustain a complex ecological chain. As the trumpet-like call of the trumpeter hornbill still echoes through the canopy, a different kind of silence begins to take over, heavy, tense, and full of intent. Without fanfare or bright colors, the crowned eagle quietly emerges, gliding through the dappled light beneath the forest canopy. The crowned eagle may not have the largest wingspan among Africa's eagles, but it holds the title for the most powerful strike relative to prey weight. Within the southern Miombo woodland ecosystem, the crowned eagle acts as a regulator of balance. By controlling the population density of small mammals and birds, it helps prevent overgrazing by herbivorous species and creates an ecological pressure that keeps prey alert and behaviorally responsive. Its very presence plays a key role in preserving biodiversity and maintaining the long-term stability of the entire ecosystem. In the realm of cultural and spiritual symbolism, many African tribes have revered the crowned feathers of this eagle as sacred objects. Within the depth of Christian faith, the image of the eagle holds profound meaning as a symbol of renewal, rising strength, and unwavering perseverance. As written in the book of Isaiah, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." That image comes vividly to life each time the wide wings of the crowned eagle sweep across the skies of South Luangwa. In the marshlands of eastern Zambia, a striking trait unites many of the shallow water dwellers: the graceful white plumage of the region's signature bird species. While the yellow-billed stork impresses with its tall, slender stance and white feathers tinged with pink, the African spoonbill carries a gentler presence, cloaked in pure white from neck to wing. Though different in form and behavior, both birds share an elegant beauty, like bright punctuation marks against the serene backdrop of the Luangwa and Kapamba wetlands. The African spoonbill stands at an average height of about 90 centimeters, with a wingspan of 120 centimeters and a body weight ranging from 1.2 to 1.5 kilograms. Its elegant white plumage, pale pink legs, and distinctively long, flat, spoon-shaped bill give it a uniquely recognizable appearance. That flattened bill is its primary tool for remarkably precise hunting. While foraging, it keeps its bill slightly open and sweeps it in an arc through the water. When prey, such as small fish, crustaceans, or insect larvae, touches the sensitive inner edge, a reflex snap occurs in under 0.03 seconds, securing the catch and delivering it straight to the mouth without the need for adjustment. More than half the country fell into drought, culminating in a state of emergency declared in February 2024. Zambia's wild gem now watches its rivers run dry, places once teeming with bathing hippos reduced to cracked mud and silence. Migratory species are shifting their behavior, stranded between barren grasslands and the growing sprawl of agricultural fences. During the driest days of the year, when trails along the Luangwa River become more accessible than ever, wire snares begin to appear, thick as invisible webs strung through the wild. They steal the freedom of young elephants, lions, African wild dogs, and sometimes even a lone baboon simply searching for food. According to the 2023 annual report from Conservation South Luangwa, the veterinary team successfully removed snares from 11 wild animals. In addition, they saved 4 more lives, including 2 elephants trapped in a waterhole, a pregnant giraffe experiencing complications, and an orphaned elephant calf that was later transferred to the Game Rangers International Rescue Center in Lusaka. Across this land, Mopane woodlands dominate with their drought-tolerant canopies, while Miombo forests blanket the higher hills, cooler, more humid realms that shelter unique, local species. The climate here is classified as tropical semi-arid, with the rainy season lasting from November to April and the dry season stretching from May to October. During the rainy season, annual rainfall averages between 700 and 1,200 millimeters, creating favorable conditions for the growth of wetland ecosystems. In contrast, the dry season brings a scarcity of water, forcing wildlife to gather around the remaining water sources, especially the Luangwa River, resulting in spectacular and diverse scenes of wildlife activity. South Luangwa is renowned for its astonishing biodiversity, home to over 60 species of mammals and more than 400 species of birds. Notably, the park is the only place where endemic species like the Thornycroft's giraffe and Cookson's wildebeest can be found. Amidst the ever-changing and extraordinary rhythms of nature, climate change is no longer a distant warning. El Niño swept through the 2023 to 2024 rainy season in Zambia, leaving behind nothing but dust and ash. The close coordination between ground patrol teams, aerial support, conservation organizations, and local tour operators has created a comprehensive emergency response system, enabling swift and effective action across this vast ecological region. Alongside field rescue efforts, the veterinary clinic in Mafue conducted 19 community outreach visits, providing care for 459 domestic animals in villages along the park's boundaries. These initiatives play a crucial role in reducing the risk of disease transmission from livestock to wildlife, an essential component of holistic conservation efforts. South Luangwa cannot endure without the collective support of the global community. Share knowledge, support conservation programs, and choose a lifestyle that respects the environment. Protecting this ecosystem is not only about preserving wildlife, it's about safeguarding the very wild heart of our planet. And if you've ever visited South Luangwa National Park, whether to experience a walking safari or to marvel at star-filled skies during a night safari, don't hesitate to share your knowledge and stories in the comments below. Your experiences can inspire and empower ongoing efforts to protect nature and endangered wildlife, helping preserve this ecosystem for generations to come. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can join us on the next magical journey. Or keep following the survival stories of Africa's wild creatures in Wild Savannah, stories of Africa's fiercest predators, or Wild Zambia, survival in Heart of the Savannah. We have just walked together through the rawest glimpses of the fury of the Russian and Arctic winter. Which animal in today's episode changed the way you see the wild? Was it the lone king, the Siberian tiger, or the disciplined grey wolf pack? Leave your experience in the comments. Your understanding is itself a tribute to these wild animals. Don't forget to like and subscribe to come with me on the next field expeditions, where we will keep decoding the most mysterious codes of survival. And if you want to explore more about other wild animals, keep watching at Win or Die, full episode. Deadliest Battles for Survival, or Lion Attack, the Mapogo Battle for Survival.